Welcome to podcast episode 192 of the Rich Woman's Podcast. I'm Jeanine Hurt. Pumped and excited to spend today with you. We're going to talk about how to actually do an annual planning based on your birth chart. First of all, two things I want to share with you. There's so much energy behind what we're going to talk about because this is literally the nth time I spoke this intro. I don't even know last time I had so many technical issues, but it is what it is. Nothing can stop me. I've decided. So we are moving with what we've got, where we are at. And right now, this is an interesting setup, but who cares? This is your reminder. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We just got to be moving with where we are, with what we've got. And this attitude of nothing can stop you. You always make it. You always make it. You're always going to finish somehow. We just don't know when and how. But it's important that we move. So that's a little prep talk right here in the beginning of today's episode. If I look back in my own journey, in my client's journey, every time they were frustrated, and maybe frustration shows up differently for all of us. Frustrated, angry, mad, sad, whatever it is. This energy of, man, it's not going fast enough. I'm not there yet where I want to be. This kind of like mindfuck. What I found out to be true, and I want you to contemplate if you can find this for yourself as well. It is really the moment we're leaving our own path, and that is we are building a business not based on our birth chart and how unique you are, how individual you are, how special you are, but rather you're going to somebody who has accomplished the result you want to have, right? What you've learned over and over again. Oh, there's somebody that made $1 million. Okay, come and join my program and how to become a millionaire. Okay, I have 1 million followers. Join my program, how to build 1 million follower community. And while obviously there is some truth to the basics of, hey, this has worked for me, this is how I've built it, you should do the same, right? When it comes to sales, for instance, if the basics are, if you don't have offers, if you don't have prices, if you basically don't have a store that is open, and like, how am I supposed to enter your store? How am I going to be able to purchase something at your store? It's simply not going to work out. So, but then wouldn't we agree? Okay, these are the basics, the foundation, they're identical for all of us. But then let's imagine your store is like a supermarket. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, first, we got to have the supermarket. We got to put on the sign supermarket. We got to put some groceries inside. We got to open the store. But then once like we have those basics in place, it really depends on like personal preference, right? How big is your supermarket? Would you love to serve the masses? Would you love to serve a smaller crowd? Would you love to focus, I don't know, only on meat, only on fruits and vegetables? Are you going to have everything? Can you see? Like, there's no right or wrong. It's really personal preference. And those kind of personal preferences we can see in your birth chart actually when it comes to business. And that's why I'm so freaking passionate about this whole work that we're doing, like building $1 million businesses, but not on anybody's success strategy, but on your own success strategy, which can be found inside your birth chart. And part of that, obviously, is also how do we actually do an annual planning, aka budgeting for the next year. And what I found, I want to take you a little bit on a journey with me. In the beginning, in investment banking, they would always do the annual planning, I think already in like September, October for the upcoming year. And I'm like, man, it seemed still so far in the future. I'm like, nah. When I had my own company, I'm just going to go with the flow. My first big goal was to make $1 million in sales in my first year. Afterwards, it increased. And then I was at this point, I'm like, let me just not have a goal and see what's possible. Like kind of what's the maximum of sales I can accomplish, right? Like I thought, take the pressure out. Not have like a real goal. So that already being said, right, inside your birth chart, we can see actually what type of manifestor. Are you somebody like me that needs a specific goal, like a specific number right now? I just scheduled and budgeted 2026, a $50 million year for Rich and Happy. Or are you actually somebody that is a non-specific manifestor, meaning you go with the vibe, with the feelings? For me, if I do not have a specific number, it stresses me out. Like I'm in flow state. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't motivate me. It doesn't move me. However, there are people if you would have a specific number, it's really stressful for you. So instead, you should be focusing on the emotions. How would it feel like for you if you have $1 million year, $5 million year, whatever the number is? Like, you don't go for the specific number, but rather the feelings, emotions, like you're living in this end result of like that's motivating you. So this already is super important to know about yourself, right? It's just 1% of the puzzle, if even. So if we already know in, like, for instance, human design, what type we are, if we are a generator, projector, reflector, etc., and also our numbers, like this already gives us some insights into how to actually plan for our year. And again, looking back, I'm so grateful for all the wrong paths I've took, because I was frustrated so often. I wanted to quit so often simply because I felt I understood on a logical level all those tools made sense, how people like plan and schedule for the upcoming year. So I tried to do it because it's the state of the art in the business world. However, what I found out was doing this, I like pushed myself in a box, kind of like being in a pool where you press a water ball under the water, right? Like you press, 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 press. Eventually you can't press the ball underwater anymore. And it just jumps out like wild anywhere all over the place. And you literally have no control. And this is how often I felt in the business world. So I really had to go inwards, and human design astrology really, really helped me so much, right? Of like understanding the question, who am I, especially in a business context, and how am I supposed to build and run my business? And obviously this was all like pre-AI times. I was reading the books like Gate 52. What does it mean? Human design book, right? What does it mean? Be a generator. What does it mean? 2-4. Like literally, I was reading the books. So this was also the one-on-one work I was doing with my clients, really reading the books about who they are and sharing with that. Obviously not scalable, super time intensive. And that's why I just love what we built with Jeanine GPT, where in all of the programs we are running, you will always upload your human design chart, your business chart. And now everything we talk about, it's actually going to be personalized for you based on your birth chart. So that being said, giving you some more specific examples. So if you don't know, I'm a 2-4 generator. And it's very important for me. I've talked about this massively. The hermit times, right? That's why we have a private podcast called Offline and Sold Out. Find the link in the show notes, where I'm literally sharing how I'm building an offline and sold out business. Really a business that allows me not to live on social media and still sales coming in. If this is your vibe, highly recommend the podcast. It's lifetime access. I actually don't know the current price. It's increasing constantly. You always get access to past episodes, plus almost every week I'm dropping new episodes. So whatever the price is, you will find it. It's just increasing as more episodes are being dropped, obviously. So it's very important for a 2-line is those hermit times, right? Where I really have time for myself. It's just me and myself. No social media, no business, no nothing. So for instance, on a micro view, this already looks like that I only have calls every other week in my calendar. If like 1 week of calls, nothing. 1 week of calls, nothing. But then on a macro scale, right, on an annual scale, I'm already, and this is something I found out my own rhythm, is really having like 2 months of coaching, 1 month of break. So even on my annual like view, right, normal people would say every month we need to have a focus and sales and sales and sales. But it's just not working for me. It drains me. And I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm not. Rather, I'm running with my energy. So really what's working for me is having like kind of a launch phase, but then a break. Having a launch phase and a break. Having like more sales in, like let's say in month 1, and maybe less sales in month number 3. But I don't give it a meaning if I'm having this wave or curve, because I know after the 3rd month, when I'm entering into month number 4, I'm like picking up again. So instead of, for me, trying to have increasing sales every month, I don't mind having a dip because I know it goes up again the moment I'm like leaving hermit mode. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong, but I really had to learn this. I've had to find my own rhythm. I had to find who I am as a business owner, how I want to show up, what feels natural in a way. I really wanted to create, probably 2 years ago, I started this process in business that is actually nurturing me. Literally, when I show up and we do the conversations we're having right now, I want this to give energy to me. I don't want it to take energy from me. And every time I was in this consistency loop of showing up daily, like having a podcast coming out, a new episode every Monday instead of defining my own rhythm, I was drained. And I'm like, no, if this is a way I'm running a business, I'm done. I'm not doing this. Everything felt so fake. I'm like, okay, this is who I am. This is who I am as a 2-4 generator. This is what's working for me. This is my rhythm. And if you're inside our world and you have access to Jeanine GPT, there are two really cool things we've created for you. One is every Sunday, you get your weekly business and energy report for the week, like what's working, what's the energy for you, based on human design, based on astrology and some other tools. And really, also, what should you be talking about on social media? Like, what should you be focusing on sales? And then what we've just added is a monthly forecast. So around the 20th of every month, you receive a forecast of the upcoming month, obviously fully personalized. What are good days for you to sell, to create content? Like, it's different for all of us. What should we be focusing on? And this really has been such a game changer, just like going with a natural energy. Not to be in this like, okay, today I don't feel like creating content. And instead of like, let me override this feeling, okay, let me check my forecast and put this in my calendar. When is a good day for me to create social media content? And guess what? Then I'm doing it and then I love it and I'm in my flow. But what so many people say, like, don't allow your emotions to drive your business actions. I'm actually doing the opposite. I am actually doing the opposite. And it was one of the hardest journeys because there was so much guilt and shame coming up for me. I always tried to be in this masculine consistency, hustle energy, and there's nothing wrong with it, right? Some of us have exactly that energy imprint in their birth chart, but I don't. It's a polar opposite of who I am and how I should be running. So my invitation for you is really find out who you are, how you should do your annual planning. Do you need hermit cycles? Is it more important for you maybe even to have a launch phase like once a year, twice, and then you're more invisible, then you're more in teaching mode, but not in sales mode? Is it more important for you to have like sprints, right? 30, 60-day cycles, just something new, right? Super important. For instance, if you're a 1-3 line manifesting generator, it's like you have this constant trial and error. So it's very important to run your business in like 30, 60-day cycles, right? Trial and error, 36 days. But for a 2-4 line, I would go insane. You would go insane. So I am so excited for you, as every year, it's actually the third year now that we are going to run the plan. And inside the plan, it really has been an evolution. I've shared how I'm planning and budgeting my annual year. So 2 years ago, we really started with the energetics, right? I talk about this, the internal money container. How can we stretch to hold more? How can you stretch to hold more, right? It's like, before I give you more money, we agree you have to have a bigger container, because otherwise the money is just not going to be in your bank account, not in your wallet. So first we got to stretch the container. It's really what we did in the plan 2 years ago. The last year of the plan edition was really, I'm like, okay, this is your goal. How are we going to break this down? Giving you an example. So for this year, when I budgeted and I planned for $50 million sales year in 2026 for Rich and Happy, first I thought, I'm like, oh, this is really big. I have no idea like how to do this. Like, felt very stretchy. So eventually I'm like breaking this down, and I shared this all in last year's plan. But in the end, it's only a $45,000 day. And I'm like, oh, this sounds natural. So I have offers, like I know exactly what to sell, where I'm at a state I'm like, already just with doing this process I'm taking you through, I'm like, oh, this feels easy, this is doable. I'm like, let's go full focus on that. And this year what we're adding is really working with Jeanine GPT and combining both parts, but do budgeting, a planning of the annual year based on your birth chart. So I am so excited for you. And the cool part is the link to join the plan is obviously in the show notes below. And there's going to be 5 live trainings. We start in December, we end at the beginning of January, and it's going to be lifetime access. So meaning the moment you join, you get access to the plan edition 1, 2, and 3 of this year, plus all upcoming plan editions in the future. So if you're vibing with this, you were especially part of the last the plans, then this is definitely going to be your thing also for the upcoming years. So this is really something I've contemplated, that I've realized there are common themes in the rich and happy world. The plan, how to plan your upcoming years, obviously one of them. So for all those trainings, as of now, it's always going to be lifetime access, meaning as long as the program exists, plus you always have access to past editions plus future editions. And I think it's just, I'm going to share this in another episode, why I've done this, why I've decided to do this. I can't wait to see you, to plan your annual year with you 2026 based on your birth chart. Trust me, this working with your birth chart, your human design in a business context in a very practical, money focused way is such a game changer for you, for your business, and especially how fast you're going to see results. I love you. I talk to you in the next episode. And of course, if you haven't joined the plan, the link is below. Do it right now.